Hey readers! Today we're going to read Upstairs Mouse, Downstairs Mole, Chapter 4. Chapter 4, The Boat. As we read, I want us to pay attention to the illustrations in the text as we describe the characters, the setting, and major events, and let's also keep track of who is speaking or who is telling the story at various points in the text. Chapter 4, The Boat. Mole knocked on Mouse's door. Tap, tap, tap. "Good morning, Mole," said Mouse. "Good morning, Mouse," said Mole. "I hope you like surprises." "I love surprises," squeaked Mouse. "Don't tell, let me try to guess." "It has to do with water," whispered Mole. "Oh, and I see in the illustration flowers. I wonder what the surprise is." Mouse twirled her tail. It had not rained in 2 days. The flowers in the garden were starting to droop. Oh. She hopped up and down on one foot. "Is it a rain dance?" guessed Mouse. "Nope," said Mole, "not a rain dance." Mouse waved her arms back and forth as if she were casting a line. "Are we going fishing then?" "No, not fishing either," said Mole. Mouse scratched her ears. She was hot from hopping up and down. Her arms were tired from waving back and forth. "Swimming?" she squeaked hopefully. "Wrong again," said Mole. "Follow me." They hiked along the path to the pond. So readers, what do you think the surprise is? Turn and tell your buddy. Reading to find out. There in the water was a boat. "Surprise!" shouted Mole. "My, what a beautiful boat!" said Mouse. "I have only one paddle though," said Mole. "No problem," said Mouse. "We'll take turns." "Good thinking," Mole smiled. Off they went. Mole paddled and paddled. Then he paddled some more. His arms were getting sore. They had passed the willow tree 3 times. Readers, turn and tell your buddy who is speaking on this page. Who is telling the story? The narrator or the characters? Good job, readers. Did you say the narrator? And the narrator is telling us that Mole is paddling the boat and his arms are getting sore and that they had passed the willow tree 3 times. What do you think that means, readers? Turn and tell your buddy. Good job, readers. Did you say they might be going in circles or they might be lost? "I think we are going in circles." "Ooh, we were right," said Mouse. "Here, let me try." Mouse paddled and paddled. Then she paddled some more. Soon Mouse's arms began to ache. Oh no, readers. According to the illustration, it looks like they fall out of the boat. Let's see what happens. They passed the willow tree 3 more times. Only now they were headed in the opposite direction. "You're right, Mouse," said Mole. "We are definitely going in circles." Both Mouse and Mole were hot and tired from all the paddling. "Let's go for a swim," suggested Mole. They dove into the water. Mouse splished, Mole splashed. How refreshing! Oh, so readers, they didn't fall out of the boat. They jumped out of the boat and went for a swim. That sounds like fun. They climbed back into the boat. Mouse twirled her tail. Mole rubbed his snout. "I have an idea," squeaked Mouse. "Why not switch paddling more often?" "Good thinking," Mole chuckled. "At least we won't tire as easily." Pretty soon, Mouse and Mole were zipping across the pond. When they reached the other side, it was time to turn around. Mouse and Mole were experts at turning around. "Ouch!" squeaked Mouse. "Something is nibbling on my tail." She yanked it out of the water. A fish plopped into the boat. Way to go, said Mole. Our first fish. Mouse and Mole hopped up and down in celebration. They waved their arms back and forth at the sky. Then it began to rain. Oh, remember, readers, they needed rain for their garden. Their flowers were drooping because it hadn't rained. The next day, Mouse knocked on Mole's door. Tap, tap, tap. I have a surprise for you, whispered Mouse. Let me guess, Mole clapped. Like Mouse, he too was fond of surprises. It has to do with pears, she said. Do you mean pears like on a tree, asked Mole, or pears like mittens? Like mittens, said Mouse, only not mittens. Mole rubbed his snout. He kicked the dirt with his feet. A claw poked out of one shoe. Is it shoes or socks? Guessed Mole. Nope, not shoes, not socks, said Mouse. She disappeared behind the tree. Ooh, readers, turn and tell your buddy, what do you think the surprise is going to be? Let's read to find out. Surprise! Out jumped Mouse. She handed Mole a paddle decorated with ribbons. Now we have a pair of paddles. A pair? Said Mole. Like you and me. Together they hopped up and down, dancing in circles around the oak tree. Mole waved the paddle back and forth at the sky. Plip, plop, down came the rain once again. Mouse and Mole's garden never looked better. Okay, reader, so let's talk about the important events in Chapter 4, the boat. So turn and tell your buddy, what was Mole's surprise for Mouse? Good job, readers. Did you say he had a boat for them to go paddling in? Now turn and tell your buddy what was the problem when they went paddling in the boat. Good job, readers. Did you say they were going in circles? Their arms got tired from paddling because they only had one paddle. Now turn and tell your buddy what was the solution when they were paddling in the boat. Good job, readers. Did you say they took turns when they were paddling the boat so their arms wouldn't get tired and they learned how to paddle up and down the pond and turn around? What happened when they were in the boat that was a surprise for both of them? Good job, readers. Did you say a fish jumped into their boat and then it started to rain? Now turn and tell your buddy what was Mouse's surprise for Mole at the end of the story. Good job, readers. Did you say another paddle so they could have two paddles instead of one? So remember, readers, today and every day as you read chapter books, you can use the illustrations and the text to describe characters, setting, and major events. You can also make predictions based on what you see in the pictures and in the text. And then keep reading to see if your predictions were right.